I wanted to briefly discuss the difference between understanding and discernment, or what we sometimes refer to as seeing. And here, when I say understanding, I mean theoretical understanding, a theoretical grasp of a subject, getting the idea of something as opposed to actually discerning, seeing directly what that idea refers to. So Ajahn gave the example, actually I think it originally comes from a sutta. The sutta refers to something slightly different and he kind of modified it to talk about this, but anyway, doesn't really matter. The example is that suppose you have a person that's blind from birth and you want to explain to them what an elephant looks like, though they've never seen one. Now you can show them, make them touch different parts of an elephant one by one, and you can sort of explain to them, okay, it looks like this and it has 4 legs and it is grey and it's this size and so on. And from all of that they will gather a sort of concept or an idea of how the elephant should look. But then suppose that a doctor manages to cure them so that they can see, it gives them vision, and then they see the same elephant. Now that vision of the elephant will not be the same as their idea of what an elephant looked like. It might have some resemblance to it, and then they will see, that's what it meant, that's what it was, those sort of columns or that thing that was a bit like a broom. Okay, now I see what it was really. So in the same way, we need an idea, a theoretical understanding of what the Dhamma is in order to then be able to work to discern it. We need to get the idea of what we have to see, what we have to learn to discern. So an example is that we need to learn about anicca. We need to learn what anicca means, what impermanence means, and the fact that the body is impermanent, for example. Or another example, we have to learn to get the idea and understanding of what is right and what is wrong, what is wholesome and what is unwholesome. But that doesn't mean necessarily that we are seeing it yet. And it's mainly just to make the point that it's absolutely no problem to get a theoretical idea about something. In fact, it's essential. You can't make any progress without having some understanding, studying, thinking about it, asking questions, learning. But what's very important is not to confuse that theoretical grasp with actual discernment, with seeing it as it is directly for yourself. And Ajahn said, when you see directly what it is as it is for yourself, let's say the impermanence of the body and mind, then, in hindsight, looking back at your previous idea of what it was, a bit like the blind man with the elephant, you can see, yeah, that's what it meant when the Buddha said this, or that's what it was. Now I see it. But you can see as well that your previous idea was not the same thing as what you now see. But if you might have a very good theoretical grasp of these things, and you think that this theoretical understanding is what, seeing the Dhamma or understanding the Dhamma means, you think it means you've understood, then that's a problem, because you will not be basically trying to improve on it in the sense of working to see it directly, discern it for yourself, so that the theoretical ideas you had before, or the explanations you had about it, and the theory about it, would become basically unnecessary in a way. You want to not need these anymore. In the same way that the previously blind man, when he can see the elephant, he doesn't really need anymore his previous notions that he had sort of memorized in regard to it. Now he knows what an elephant looks like because he can see it. not because he, has memorized or remembers all these, okay, yes, it has 4 legs and it has this and it has that and it is this size. He doesn't need any of that anymore. He just sees it. The other thing that Ajahn says and repeats very often about this is don't trust the mind, meaning don't take your idea of something as being what that thing is, or don't take, even you might have had really genuine insight, but don't take your memory of that insight to be the understanding of the Dhamma, because then what the tendency always of the mind of a Puthujjana, the one who hasn't seen the Dhamma yet, who is not yet Sotapanna, is to always take something as mine. As far as you are basically trusting the mind, trusting the concepts from the mind or the memory from the mind, as in taking that to be what that thing really is. My memory of my previous insight means I understood that Dhamma or that part of the Dhamma. Then actually, as far as you're trusting that, you're taking it as yours. It's my insight, it's my memory, it's my understanding. So to that extent, you might have had the insight, but you're not understanding the Dhamma to the extent that you're taking that as mine.